It's been just an exercise of stepping into my fear. I had gotten to the point where I was facing two alternatives. One, take my own life. I had lived a good life. I felt really satisfied by what I had accomplished. And one level, everything was perfect. I checked all the boxes: successful career, marriage, 2 kids. In some sense, I had everything. But then I'd only lose it all if I came out. So probably the best thing to do was to end it. I had a good run, and I didn't see being here. Suicide was a better option than that. I was not afraid to die. I was afraid to live. And that realizing that I was afraid to live sort of shifted everything. Well, a big piece of it was, not liking my gender. And for me, that was wishing I was a girl. So that's the only thing I've ever been conscious of with regard to my transness, was just wanting to be a girl, wanting to be something I wasn't. And, scary, scary, scary to step out of those social norms, especially if you've been living that way for so long, and to start to express your real self. And I think that's what we have to do. I mean, there's no way around the obstacle. There's the learning right there, just to become instantly aware at a visceral level of my white male privilege, or at least male privilege. I got a feeling for what it's like to be afraid to leave your own home. And yet, as I've leaned into them, as I've taken those steps, I just have this sense that this is right. People ask me what it's like to come out as trans and to live in my chosen gender, what it's like to, have bottom surgery. And the only way I can describe it is that it's like, I'm home. And like everything just kind of lets down and settles. People ask me if I'm happier now. And I'm like, yes, in many ways. In many ways. I feel way more confident in myself and who I am, and grounded and at peace in my body. But my external world is now way more chaotic and uncertain than I like it to be. Dealing with looking for work and uncertainty about my marriage and where I'm going to live, and am I going to find a partner? So it's been a journey of, like, on the one hand, extreme, the joy that comes from that liberation, that freedom, and gratitude for that I can get to be a woman. There's a tremendous amount of privilege in that. And on the other hand, it's just grief and sadness. So there's those two polarities. I feel like my journey is the journey of a lot of people to learn to love themselves and loosen the grips of, like, social norms and the judgments and, expectations and everything else that the world places on us, and just start to live just as ourselves, be ourselves, and be enough. That be enough. If we can establish that fabric in our culture of, like, true unconditional love of other people just by virtue of them being human, you don't have to be what I want you to be or be a certain way. I love you, And there's freedom in that kind of love. So just imagine if we could give that to each other in our relationships and even in our organizations. We can learn to unconditionally love everybody. And so I'm thinking to myself, now what? What do I want to accomplish in this world as a woman? And that's radically different than what I wanted to accomplish in the world as a man. But I want to help. I want to help others with their transition, and I want to help make the world a safer, more accepting place for trans and non-binary kids, but more broadly LGBTQ plus IA. Creating the conditions where people feel empowered and they can show up as their authentic selves. It's such a liberating feeling, and it unleashes so much potential. I think the appropriate response is, congratulations for sharing. Thank you. And I love you no matter what you come to me with. That would be enormous. And I think if we could accept people better in their differences, then more people would not feel shame. Then we would all be operating in a way that's far more healthy.
There are no words to explain. Give more of my life to just listening. I see my beauty in you. I've become the mirror that can't close its eyes. I see my beauty in you. I become